Well, today I am going to be continuing with my lessons learned vlog. And it's almost Father's Day, so you guessed it. I am going to be talking about the 8 lessons learned from my dad. And just like my mom, I learned a ton of valuable things. They were such a good couple together. And I'm so thankful for both my mom and my dad. And today we're going to be talking about the lessons learned from my dad. Now, the first thing that comes to mind about my dad is work ethic. He is the best worker in the world. He does not know the word lazy. He does not know the word can't. It's only can do. And if it can be done, it will be done, and he will do it. He can do anything. He did and does everything. My dad is awesome. So thank you, Dad, for my wonderful work ethic. I love to work, and it's fun for me. And I learned that from you, and I do it with a whistle, and I do it with a song. I love to work. And the next thing my dad is, he is the most unselfish person I have ever met. He always cares for others, and he is the most compassionate person I've ever met too. And the thing with my dad about being unselfish is he will give his shirt off of his back before he even thinks of himself, thinking that he might need that shirt. So my dad is very unselfish. And I learned that from my dad too. And my dad also was and is, he was an excellent provider growing up. We always had food in our cabinets. We always had a roof over our head. We always had clothes to wear that he always took care of us. My mom just added, they just made the most perfect team. So my dad was an excellent provider. And can you imagine having 2 daughters, both in high school at the same time, going to the same prom, needing prom dresses? He took us shopping, drove us an hour or so away, and bought us each a dress. And we looked like our little princesses. And that was from my dad. My dad did that for us. So he always provided. He always took care of us and made sure we had everything we needed, and sometimes and a lot of times wanted. He made sure we had that. Now, the other thing that my dad, that is number 4, is to have fun. Like I mentioned before, grocery shopping. We would go grocery shopping with us, and all 3 of us kids would be hanging off the cart. I'd be hanging off one side, my sister be hanging off the other side, my brother be hanging off the back or off the front, and we just had a blast. And I remember hanging out the cereal aisle for a long time, trying to pick out the one with the best toy. And more than likely, my dad would get that for us. So we had a lot of fun grocery shopping. And he would drive a bus. So I also loved to ride the number 2 Ford bus. That was my favorite bus. If he was ever driving that to go pick up kids on a school route or a church bus route, I would want to ride with him because I loved how it was just the cutest bus. I remember too, every time he had to go get parts for a car or a bus or just to do something of that nature, if I didn't get to go with him, I was disappointed because he always made it fun. We'd always stop at Jack in the Box or some kind of fast food restaurant, or he'd always give us that penny or that quarter or that dime or nickel for the gumball machines, and he always made it fun. And I just loved riding around and doing stuff with him. And number 5, how fun it is to fix things. Some of my funnest times was just sitting. He'd be under the bus or under a car doing something and just hear him say, "Can you hand me that monkey wrench?" or "Can you hand me that screwdriver?" "Hey Joe, I need that." and that was some of my favorite things to do was just to sit and watch him work, watch him do things. He would change the oil in our car. He would fix flat tires. And I really think it's hard for me to this day to hire somebody to do something, because my entire life, we've always did it ourselves and fixed it ourselves. So I do find it hard to hire things out, because I feel like it can be done by myself or my husband or my dad or somebody. And another thing my dad taught me, I'm going to put this in the category of maintaining your home and your cars, is how to garden. He would make the best gardens. I would go out and just have, my fun of the day would be to pull up a radish, clean it off and eat it, pull up a carrot, clean it off and eat it. And one year we had so many pumpkins, and my dad gave them out to the kids that came to church that Sunday. And mind you, he had a school bus at the time, a bus route that he brought in like 300 kids or so or more. And I'm not, I can't remember. He would know the numbers, but it seemed like a ton to me. And he gave all of them a pumpkin from his garden that he grew. I have tried to grow pumpkins in my entire life, and I can't grow pumpkins. Oh, I don't know what it is, but my dad can grow anything. And he's the one that pretty much taught me how to take things from your garden, like your cannon lilies or your daisies or your water lilies or all those kind of plants that are perennials, and basically cut them and put them other places in your yard. And to how to renovate and refurbish my yard is my dad taught me with the stuff that you have. He showed me how to do that. So he's awesome. If the world ever comes to an end, I want him on my team, because he will help us sustain the world. Another thing, number 6, is he was always there, and he is always there. Anytime I've ever needed him for anything, and for anybody, if anybody needed him, he is always there. God would always put him in people's lives or in places that he needed to be, and he's always there. My mom was sick for like 17 to 20-ish years. I'm not just saying just like, oh, I got a cold sick. She had to have open heart surgery. She had sarcoidosis. She had immaculate degeneration. One thing after the other. One medicine led to this, to that, but my dad was there for her every second of every day. He took care of her. He selfishly stood beside her. He provided for her. They were the best friends. They were the best example of a marriage, which I take into my marriage now. He's always there. He was always and is still always there for me, always there for our family, always there for others, and always there for others in need. And I am so proud of him. And then number 7, he gave us a firm foundation in Christ. He led by example. My family practiced what they preach. My mom and dad, they practiced what they preach. There was no hypocrisy going on in our family. I learned how to be a true Christ-like Christian from them, because they practiced what they preached, and our home was Christ-like all the way through. So proud of that, and I'm just so thankful thank you, Dad, thank you for that, because I hold on to that. And the next thing, and this is the last thing, because this is number 8, is a caring heart. And I can't put into words how thankful I am for my dad and who he is. All the kindness and goodness that is in my heart, I learned from my dad, because he is one of the kindest people or persons that I know. And he definitely has shown me and has the fruit of the Spirit, which is so important. That's a life lesson. Have the fruit of the Spirit working in your life. And I am so blessed by my dad, and I'm so thankful for these life lessons. And I know there's more from my dad, I know there's more from my mom, but these are the ones that come to my mind. So happy Father's Day to everyone, and until next video.